What's going on, world? It's your boy Jamie the Motivator. I'm here again with another special guest, and you are now listening to the Too Crowded podcast, where I talk to successful individuals about what made them unique, what made them get successful, what's their tips, what's their process, what they got for us today. So I want you to comment, like, and make sure you follow the brand. But today I'm here with Darryl Bordenave.
What's going on, bro?
Hey, man. I thank you for coming on to the show, man.
No problem, bro.
This is special today because, one, me and you have a personal relationship along with your business brand, but I think I was one of your best models.
Yeah,
with your
sure.
brand.
For sure.
So I want to talk about how I met you, man. So it's like, I don't know if you know it or not, but when I first met you, it was at a fashion show, and we had a common mentor.
Yeah.
And I think he told me about your brand, and I walked like miles just to get there. I didn't have a car at the time.
Oh, word?
So I had to walk just to get to your fashion show, and it was like
Dang,
2-3 hours,
okay.
and when I got there, I had to like freshen up because I was sweating and stuff. It was crazy, but I remember that vividly because I had to walk to get there.
Wow, what show was that?
I just remember it was I want to say maybe it was one of the shows at the college, at the high school.
Okay.
The Pebblebrook.
Oh, okay.
One of the high schools, but it was like Cumberland Parkway, but it stood out to me because of that though. But you here on the Too Crowded podcast, and I want you to talk about who you are, if they don't already know who you are, and what's the name of your brand, all that good stuff.
Well, I'm Darryl Bordenave. The name of my company is Ruckage Design Company by Darryl Bordenave, or Ruckage by Darryl Bordenave. And I'm a menswear designer. Got my start early on at like 18 professionally. Designing for like celebrities. Roscoe Dash was one of my first clients that I had. To work with, a couple people from Mary Mary to Big Sean to Travis Porter to Rockman Dunbar to Genuine, Amarion, just a couple of people, man.
So at this point, you just a celebrity designer at this point.
Some people like to put me in that category, but I'm trying to break away from that category because I'm not a celebrity-driven designer. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Like, I use that avenue to break into the fashion industry, but I'm a designer. You know what I'm saying? Just by trade, and that's what I do. So now I'm trying to get my designs more to a mainstream audience. You know what I'm saying? Because working with celebrities is cool. It gets you the notoriety, and it gets you, noticed and things like that. But the people is what really makes you successful.
Correct. So when I always tell people I used to model for you in Ruckage Design, people always say, "What does the name mean?" Mm-hmm. So explain, what that means.
All right. So I've had the name since I was 11 years old. You know what I'm saying? Back in the 90s, I don't know if you remember those big computers we used to have, like the big ones.
No, I'm not familiar with them.
You're not familiar with them, the computers, the compact computers?
Like the first dial-up computers and all
Yeah,
that?
dial-up,
Okay.
AOL, all
Got
that.
you.
You know what I'm saying? It was a program called Paint on there.
Got you.
Or an application called Paint. And I used to just draw clothes all the time. I always I wanted to be in fashion. But for this particular point, I was drawing and I was like, man, God, I need a clothing line. They had like Fat Form, I don't know if you remember Nietzsche.
Yep, I remember that.
You know what I'm saying? Dada, like Baby Fat. They had Fetish, Rockaware, you know what I'm saying? Like all these streetwear brands. And I was like, God, give me a name. So at 11 years old, right there at the computer, man, I just said, God, like, I need a name, and I start praying. And Ruckage literally came flowing out of my mouth. You know what I'm saying? At 11 years old. And I kept saying, I was like, Ruckage. I was like, oh, that sounds good. So I started writing it different type of ways and things like that. And at that particular time, God didn't give me the meaning of it yet. You know what I'm saying? He just gave me the name. But through the years, as I've been building my brand and designing, he gave me the name and what it means. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of where I converge classic design and edgy design, fused with futurism, and mix it into one. So that gives you Ruckage. But I had to find myself as a designer and my aesthetic for me to even, for God to even reveal the name, what it meant, to
Absolutely. So you started at 11, and then I'm sure you immediately started kind of, figuring out your brand, figuring out your layout. Over the years, who have been some people that kind of inspired you? Because for me, everything that I've done came from mentorship. Mm-hmm. Like everything that I strive for had to come from me being exposed to some of those, people that was in my industry or gave me that spark. What were some of the people for you?
Well, it's crazy because I don't have a fashion mentor.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've like literally done this by myself and with the help of like, people that's not in fashion. You know what I'm saying? But some of the people that I look up to in the fashion industry is Ralph Lauren and Yohji Yamamoto. Yohji Yamamoto is an Asian designer, and of course Ralph Lauren is an American designer. I feel like I'm their love child. You know what I'm saying? If they had a baby, you know what I'm saying? Like it would be me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like that perfect mix. But people I look up to is not a lot of people in the fashion industry either. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the people I look up to is Tyler Perry.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Just for his entrepreneur pursuits and where he come from, how he got started, his grind. Devon Franklin. You know what I'm saying? Just because the man of God he is, how positive he is, how inspirational he is. Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Same thing, his grind. And I love how no matter what, he gonna give God the glory. You know what I'm saying? No matter where he is, and I also love who else? Oh, probably Damon John. You know what I'm saying, from FUBU.
Yeah, he's the prime example of starting
right
in the basement, hustle. Starting from nothing. So on this journey, like what's been some of your greatest successes? So I set the tone. We're talking to an 18-year-old right now, getting ready to go to college. He's been that kid or teenager who always designing up T-shirts, and probably he's designed it to the point where it probably wasn't as cool. It wasn't relatable because if you're before your time, it's not going to always be cool. It's not going to always feel good, going first. What has been that journey like on your road to success, and also what's been some of your greatest failures?
Well, I don't. For me, other people may look at me and see like me being like super successful, but I haven't even reached that pinnacle yet to myself. You know what I'm saying? I have like a very high standard for me and what success means. So I couldn't even answer that question like what's like like how success. What was the question again?
Your greatest success to this point.
I couldn't even tell you, man, because I feel like I haven't even. You know what I'm saying? I've had a lot of small successes. You know what I'm saying? And I had to learn to count those wins. You know what I'm saying? So I guess the greatest one to this point, I guess working with like people that I've looked up to all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was a kid, Usher and Genuine was like my favorite singers. You know what I'm saying? So working with Genuine, man, like was just like oh man, this is G. You know what I'm saying? Like so that's a great success. I guess my Shein collaboration is a highlight of my career too. When I released a collection globally with them, and it sold out or whatever. So that's a huge success. But I think my next steps would be like, okay, dude, you made it. You know what I'm saying? Like you making it, like you really, doing it. And that's to be, mentioned at a later date. But I just haven't really reached the pinnacle of success where I wanted to go.
And then what about those failures that deemed as failures, or throughout the years, what was that breaking point of you wanting to quit or what you wanted to give it up?
So I gave up fashion. I don't even think I told you this yet.
No, I didn't know.
I gave up fashion November or October of last year, man. I was in a relationship, had a fiance and all these type of things. And when she met me, I was an entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying? So when a man gets married, he want to prepare himself, you know what I'm saying? Like financially and make sure he has everything in order.
Right.
And things wasn't popping off for me the way I wanted them to, you know what I'm saying? So I had auditioned for all these like reality TV shows as far as like fashion and things like that. And I would always get like the audition and always get the call back and all that, but it would just never go through. But this particular show, like they hit me, I applied at the last minute. They hit me the next day. It was like, let's audition you, let's interview you. You know what I'm saying? Two shows, right? So I'm like, man, God, this from you. I'm finna get this. You know what I'm saying? This is like a big reality show.
This is that moment, yeah.
It's that moment, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't get it. And I was so crushed by, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, God, like, you told me to audition. Why?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Let me get here.
Yeah.
And then the same outcome.
Right, and I literally heard him tell me to audition. You know what I'm saying? Later to find out, just because he tell you to do something, that don't mean that don't mean you're gonna get it. He may just be telling you to do that so that people can know who you are. So you can get that exposure from those people behind the camera and they can know who you are. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I wound up not getting it. And I just got crushed, you know what I'm saying? I was like, you know what, F this, you know what I'm saying? I ain't doing this no more. I stopped praying to God, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we close with God or whatever.
Correct.
So
That's the
even,
foundation.
right, you know what I'm saying? Even when it would come to me praying, I'm like, no, I ain't even saying my prayers to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like stuff that we do on a normal basis.
Just rebelling
I was
against
trying
it
to,
'cause,
right.
Yeah, you felt forsaken.
Right. I
Yeah.
was trying like, I wouldn't give God no blue. Every day I get in my car, I pray before I drive. I cut myself out. I'm like, nope, I ain't praying. You know what I'm saying? Like I was trying to kind of in a way get God back. You know what I'm saying? But my homeboy Brandon was like, man, this is what I need you to do for 7 days. I need you to get a journal. You know what I'm saying? I need you to write your emotions out every day, no matter if you're sad, no matter if you're mad, like however you feel. By the 6th day of me writing, you know what I'm saying? God revealed to me, you know, why he had me go through all these failures. You know what I'm saying? I listened to a video by Letitia Wright. She's Shuri in a Black Panther.
Okay.
Or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know if you know her story, man. Phenomenal story. She didn't even believe in God. You know what I'm saying? But her friend invited her to church one day, and it just changed her life. Opened up a whole new scope of meaning and opportunities for her. You know what I'm saying? So, reading her story and listening to her story just kind of revived me. You know what I'm saying? But I still gave up on fashion. I was like, you know what? I ain't even finna do it no more. So I was like, you know what, God? If fashion is not for me, I'm okay with that.
Correct.
Loving you is enough for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I had to really get to a place where it's like just me and God. And if he never make fashion pop off, I gotta be okay with that. If he never make what you got going on pop
Correct.
off, you gotta be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Just knowing that it's you and him. So he had to put me in that place. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, cool. You know, I ain't gonna do fashion no more. Whatever. I got invited to a fashion event at Neiman Marcus. You know what I'm saying? For another black brand. So I was like, you know, it ain't happening for me, but let me go out and support another brand who it is happening for. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And because I went out and I wasn't bitter about supporting somebody else, I got blessed. And that's how I got the opportunity to release a collection with Shein from meeting somebody there. You know what I'm saying? Named Kenya. She put me on with Shein or whatever. But I could have been in my feelings. I could have been like, man, they got their stuff in Neiman Marcus. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got my stuff in Neiman Marcus.
Yeah.
I could have been hating and not want to support, but I went to support out of genuine love. And when I supported out of genuine love, God blessed me in return. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So that was my way back into fashion. But I know that was a long,
No, it's good.
they
need to hear that.
Yeah, but I've had so many failures. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been doing fashion professionally since I was 18. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still not where I want to be. I'm 33 now. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
with you, yeah.
It's a long journey, especially when you want to do fashion on a high level.
Correct.
You know, they like to minimalize black people into like streetwear and urban wear, which is cool.
Yeah, but that's easily obtainable. That's why people shoot for that.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can get out here and put a slogan over a t-shirt or a hoodie and things like that. But not too many people can see it, draw it, make the pattern, and sew it and make it come to life. I can. You know what I'm saying? And I do it on a high level, you know?
Right.
So it's just tough getting to where I really want to be, but it's happening. You know what I'm saying?
And how do you maneuver through that mindset? Because I know personally, you're like, you know, sometimes I look in the mirror and I'm like, man, I've been doing this since 2007. Like, and I know I've seen people come to the industry, you know, 2 years ago, and they got celebrity clients, and you know they're at a certain level. And I'm like, it can't be the fitness, it can't be the workouts. Like, what's going on? So I had those conversations with God, and I'm like, what, are you forgetting about me? Like, are you looking over me? You know, how do you maneuver through those times?
Well, first of all, bro, me and you, we're Asian bamboo trees, right? And when you put a seed in the ground to grow an Asian bamboo tree, it's 5 years until you even see something sprout. You have to water that seed every day. And for 5 years, you got to water it every day for 5 years, and you don't see nothing. You don't see no green coming up. You don't see nothing. Ain't nothing happening on the outer surface. But in the ground, it's sprouting roots. You know what I'm saying? Everything is growing, but you don't see nothing until 5 years. So that's us. You know what I'm saying? Then 90 days after that 5 years, it can shoot up to in that 5 years, it can shoot up to 90 feet. within a couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? And you're thinking like, man, I've been doing all, I've been watching you every day, and now you want to shoot up?
Yeah.
So that's us. You know what I'm saying? Back to when you were saying people who come in the industry, now they can have celebrity clients like the next day, but that ain't us. You know what I'm saying? They can have them celebrity clients that day, but guess what? They're not trained like us, so they can fall off easy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look at all the celebrities who peaked really quick in their career.
Come and go.
Come and go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like God has us set up to be more successful in our latter years so we can create generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? Because if you would have popped off at 18, bro, your mindset would have been different. Oh, yeah. If I would have popped off at 18, even though I had celebrity clients at 18, if I would have really like got into my greatness, bro, I don't know where I would have been. I don't know how the industry would have consumed me or got my mind. I probably wouldn't be as focused in Christ as I am. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of things, man. So we just have to really thank God for the journey, even if it takes 5 more years for you to pop off. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're relatively young, bro. What we've done at 18, 19, 20, even up to our 30s, bro, people haven't even done yet.
Correct. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to continue to look at that. Like, bro, like, pat ourselves on the back. You know what I'm saying? I had to, like, really look at myself in the mirror and be like, bro, like, you doing it. You know what I'm saying? You've already defeated odds in your family. You know what I'm saying? You've already broken generational curses. You know, you may not be a millionaire and, you know, have the status or the success that you want now, but it's coming, and we got to be okay with that, you know? So to answer the question about the failures, you know, that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta fail. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? My homeboy, he say fall forward. Yeah. Or fail forward. You know what I'm saying? Every failure is not a setback. It's a learning experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had an opportunity with Usher. You know what I'm saying? And I sent him some jackets or whatever the case may be, and he wore the jackets, but it just couldn't fit. Like, I didn't realize his arms were so long. You know what I'm saying? And then they had to send the jackets back. You know, he loved the jackets, right? And I was like, dang, man, I missed the opportunity. Fast forward, Jermaine Dupri had a party at Cascade. I got invited to the party at Cascade. Guess who I seen? Usher. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it came back around. Full circle, you know what I'm saying? It came full circle. And I was able to connect with him and, you know what I'm saying, things like that. So I failed forward. You know what I'm saying? Even though I felt like that was a setback that he didn't wear at that time, I still got in contact with him. He still seen the Jackson and, you know, history later. You know what I'm saying? So that's how.
Yeah, and kind of to me, man, it's like delayed gratification. Like, you know the day don't mean no tomorrow. So another thing that I always like to talk about is, you know, what do you do on this journey? You know, we striving for success, we high performance, we always dreaming. You know, what do you do for, you know, your mental health? You know, to keep yourself mentally strong, because, you know, we're Superman, but we don't always feel like Superman. We don't always feeling motivational. And because I deal with that a lot, you know, people say, you Jamie the Motivator. You know, so that's like, I don't never have my own stress. So how do you deal with your mental health?
All right, man.
What things do you do?
Honestly, I just started dealing with mental health. You know what I'm saying? Like, just started. But my mental health is like going to God. You know what I'm saying? Praying. And I know a lot of people, you know, like pray it away, do you know, all those type of things. But to me, it actually works. You know what I'm saying? When I just center myself and it's just me and God alone in a room, or it's me and God alone in my car, or it's me and God alone at the gym, or whatever the case may be. That's how I handle my mental health. You know what I'm saying? I have not yet gone to therapy. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I'm thinking about doing and I would want to do. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like the person has to be ready for that step, you know? And so, I mean, that's just how I clear my mind, you know what I'm saying? Just praying, centering myself, getting along with me and God, and just allowing him to talk me through whatever I'm going, and then me being open and receptive to hear what he's saying, you know what I'm saying? Because he may not directly speak to everybody, but he'll show you a sign or give you a sign or speak to somebody else, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I deal with the mental health, because being in fashion, bro, it's like hard. You know what I'm saying? We got the Virgil of Blows, you know what I'm saying, Jerry Lorenzo's, who've done great things, you know? But I'm trying to go higher than them. You know what I'm saying? As a black man, I got to be 10 times better than my counterpart, you know what I'm saying, which is white or Asian or whatever the case may be. But even I gotta be 10 times better than Jerry, 10 times better than Virgil, 10 times better than Kanye. you know, all those people, you know. So it's just tough, man, getting there, and it will take a toll on your mentality.
Yeah.
But if you're not grounded in the spirit, in my opinion, you ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, so with you having such high, aspirations, what does that look like for you? And I say that, and I break it down for myself. So, I have one successful gym right now, but honestly, and people, they come in and say, "Man, you're doing good, you're doing great." In my head, though, I see 10. I see 10 in just this city, and then going into other cities, and then getting to a point where I'm a philanthropist. I'm a venture capitalist. I'm able to. I desire to have over 50 companies where I'm owning 25% of every one. And, it's when you talk like that amongst people, sometimes you're deemed as being crazy. You're deemed as being, they kind of just put you in a box. What are some of your aspirations? Like, what does that vividly look like?
Me, honestly, bro, to be one of the biggest designers in the world, to be one of the biggest fashion houses in the world. I don't have to be the greatest. I just want to be one of the biggest. You know what I'm saying? Like when you look at Louis Vuitton, when you look at Ralph Lauren, when you look at Gucci, when you look at all these brands, what black person or what black man or black woman is mentioned with those names? You know what I'm saying? There is none. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds like Dapper Dan.
But he's not mentioned with, don't get me wrong, Dapper Dan is dope, and he's good at what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? But
he's not up there with those names.
Nah. No black
level.
person is right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Virgil was doing it. You know what I'm saying? But he died untimely, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? But it's time for somebody else to take on the reins. You know what I'm saying? It's not just one person either. It could be 10 black designers doing it, 20 black designers doing it.
Somebody has to be, that person kind of leading the pack, and then everybody being able to collectively get there.
Right. And I just want to be one of those people, you know what I'm saying? So that's my dream, you know what I'm saying? To have a world-renowned fashion house, record design company, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A black man owns this, but I'm not just a black designer. Everybody wears my clothes. The whole world wears my clothes. I just happen to be a black man.
Have you ever thought about that everything you accomplish in your lifetime, that you may not be able to, like, reap it yourself, but your son, his son may be a part of that bloodline? Like my granddad, Darryl, Bordenave, he started X, Y, and Z, and now we're here. Because for me, I haven't reached that place of peaceness yet, but I'm finding that because Walt Disney didn't get a chance to enjoy what his kids are enjoying now.
Right.
How does that make you feel when you think about that?
That's funny. I was just talking to God about that other day. I do want mine now.
Yeah.
I want it not now, but I want mine
wanna be
while
able
I'm
to-
here.
Correct.
I want to enjoy the fruits of my labor. I don't want to be, working this hard and then I just die. And my kids, I want them to experience
up.
too, but
Yeah.
I want us to experience together as a family. So I prayed to God the other day. I was like, God, I want mine now. That's funny you should ask me that.
Yeah.
And I haven't come to that peace.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna come to that peace because I wanted to experience it with me and my family together. And then I want my kids to take it to a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's how I am. So I'm continue to grind hard so I can enjoy the fruits of my labor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't stay up to 6 o'clock every night, you know what I'm saying? Got school, then gotta go to work to not enjoy the fruits of my labor. You know what I'm saying? I did those things for a reason, and I feel like God is gonna bless me enough to enjoy it while I'm young and while I'm, still alive.
Yeah, and I asked that question because everybody's saying legacy, and it sounds good to say, I want to build this for my family and my kids gonna have it. But what if, it doesn't happen in your time? And we want to build that, but I think everybody just should be realistic about what that looks like, so, and if that is something, you do want to be able to experience that, I think that's asking God, for that, because I ask God sometimes, how are some people able to enjoy their success and live to 80, and other people live to 28, and they were massively successful, but they hadn't even scraped the surface.
Right.
So for you, what does legacy mean to you?
Legacy means multi-generational wealth, not just generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? Wealth that I can pass down to my kids and my grandkids. You know what I'm saying? What the Bible say? You know what the Bible say about it?
What part? No,
about leaving, you know what I'm saying? A good man leaves his inheritance to his kids and his grandkids and his great-great-grandkids. You know what I'm saying? So I want to leave it to multi-generational. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of wealth I want to obtain. You know what I'm saying? And the success. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah, I mean, if God, says that it's not for me, you know what I'm saying, right now, or I have to pass away and then my kids will happen, then so be it. But I don't believe that's God's plans for me. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Just because of the things that He wants me to do on this earth and with fashion. But I want to enjoy mine like, wow, I'm alive, bro. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's
Absolutely.
60, 50, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I just want to enjoy it and taste it, you know?
Absolutely. So I always like to kind of bring it in on affirmation, a quote that I live by, and then I'm gonna ask you the same. So for me, one of my number one is life is movement. If you stop, you die. Choose life. And I use that kind of that quote for life is because, every single day when I wake up, I've like what I've done yesterday and what I desire to do tomorrow don't matter. It's about the movement that I create today. And a lot of people sometimes don't move until they actually see the goal or they see what they're about to walk into. For me, I just taken on that mindset to walk or move regardless because I feel like my movement, my growing, my propelling forward creates that friction, creates that momentum that I need to create that greatness.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why life is movement. It's so big to me. What's a quote or a mantra that you live by and what it mean to you?
The one that I created myself and that I live by is true style never changes, it only evolves, right? So that means that has multiple meanings, you know what I'm saying? We evolve as people. I'm constantly evolving as a man. I'm constantly evolving in my word. I'm constantly evolving, when I have children or when I get married and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So with style, it's the same thing. Like if you look at a person like Erykah Badu, right? She's always had a unique style.
Mm-hmm.
It just evolved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People to me who like one day they dress like a rock star, the next day they dress like a businessman, and the next day they dress like a goth person, and the next day they dress like whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like you got too much going on, you know what I'm saying? But to me, true style, it don't change. It just evolves. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I live my life. Always evolving. I'm never gonna change, but I'm gonna evolve as a person, evolve as a man, evolve as a human.
Absolutely. All right, so the person that's watching this, what's a closing message that you have to them, especially if they want to come into the fashion industry, what they look like, but talk to them about, how they can get to this level.
So I'm looking at the camera. Fashion, man, high fashion, high-end fashion, it's tough. And I want you guys to know it's different levels and sectors of fashion. Anybody can have a t-shirt brand, anybody can do hoodies and sweatshirts and all those type of things. But if you really want to get into the high-end fashion, it's going to take patience, it's going to take dedication, it's going to take hard work, eagerness, it's going to take all those things, ambition to get to the next level, you know what I'm saying? So don't come into the fashion industry thinking that it's a get quick rich scheme, because it ain't. And if it was, I would have been rich 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So take your time, be patient. Every day, pursue your craft, practice your craft. If you're a designer that sews, or even if you're a designer that doesn't sew, practice every day because you don't know when that defining moment is going to come. And this may sound cliche or corny, whatever the case may be, but you can't give up. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that can happen is when you give up is you will never make it. That's the only guarantee of giving up, that you will never make it. But if you keep going, you know what I'm saying, something is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? It has to. That's the law, you know what I'm saying, of the world and of God, And I don't know if you guys are Christian or whatever your religion is or spirituality, but for me, I choose to keep God first and God number one. That's the only way I can make it, and that's the only way that I'm still here right now. So all you young designers or even, older designers, man, just keep going. Don't give up.
All right, how can they find you? What do you have next that you probably want to announce to them if you can?
Yeah, I can't announce my next move right now, but I'll come back and, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, talk about that.
Talk about you and talk about it with you. But you can follow me at Mr. Ruckage on Instagram, Darryl Bordenave on Facebook, and my website is ruckage.com, and that's ruckage.com.
All right, well,
And you can check out the Shein collection too. So if you go to Shein.com, just type in Ruckage, and you'll see my full collection. You can support the brand.
All right, well, so if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you like, comment, share with somebody, inspire somebody else. Remember, this platform is about inspiring people, showing them different versions of success. We all look at success from one angle, but nobody asks us about the process. Nobody wants to know the ingredients. They just want to see the final product. So if you see a person up here on this couch, they are successful, and we're all getting to the next level. So as always, I'll meet you at the top because the bottom is too crowded. Peace.